Hello everybody, Clayton here at etrailer.com. Here at etrailer.com, we install, test, and review a lot of different products to help you as the customer make a more educated decision before your purchase. Today we're going to be working on a 2013 Jeep Wrangler. We're going to be installing and showing you some of the features of the Roadmaster Direct Connect base plate kit. Our base plate is going to be one of the key components in our flat towing setup. It is going to be the key connection point between our Jeep and our tow bar. With that being said, our key components are going to be our base plate, our tow bar, our supplemental braking system, our diode wiring, and our safety cables. It looks really nice on the front of our Jeep. A lot of Jeep owners like to do a lot of different modifications to their Jeeps, so personally I think it kind of fits that whole Jeep vibe, and it looks really nice on the front of here. Now it is going to be a steel construction, so it's going to be really strong for a long time, and it has a really nice black powder coat finish to help resist rust and corrosion over time as well. Disconnecting all of our components for our flat towing setup is super simple. You can kind of start wherever you want. We're going to start here with our airline for our braking system. We'll pull that off. We'll disconnect our diode wiring. We'll do our breakaway switch. Just want to undo this side pin here like so. We can pull that centerpiece out. Now that our tow bar is free from our base plate, we can undo our safety cables. And these are going to be our arms that go into our base plate. Removing these is going to be super simple as well. We pull out on our ring here. You can turn it up or down. You just pull it straight out. And this is what it's going to look like for everyday use. As you can see, the crossbar for our base plate is going to be visible. We're going to see the holes for our arms, then our safety chain tabs. But really it sits nice and tight up against our bumper, and I really don't think it sticks out that much. Like I said, it really fits the whole Jeep look, especially in our case. And personally, my favorite feature of this kit is it does come installed with prongs and a bracket for our breakaway switch and our wiring. So we don't have to try to source one of those. Keeps everything nice and tight to the base plate. And attaching all of our flat towing components is just as simple as taking them apart. We want to make sure that this tab is facing down. We'll push it in like that. And you just turn it. You want to make sure that these holes are facing the inside of your Jeep. We can just grab our tow bar, kind of slide that up into place, and reinstall our pins. Honestly, this base plate kit is really nice. It's easy to install. It looks really nice on the front of our Jeep. Personally, Roadmaster is one of my favorite brands, so I always like working with their products. So we've gone over some of the features, touch on installation a little bit. I'll go ahead and show you how to get it installed. To start our installation, there's going to be 4 push pin fasteners located along of our bottom panel here. We're just going to grab a trim panel tool. You can also do this with a flat bladed screwdriver, but we're just going to come in here, kind of pry down on these fasteners, just like so. Set it off to the side and repeat that process for our remaining fasteners. Now we're going to have 2 fasteners on the back, one located on each side, and these are going to come apart the same way as the ones on the front. We can now set our panel off to the side. Our next step is going to be to drill a hole in our frame rail here. Now depending on the model, there might already be a hole here and on the inside, and if there is, you're just going to follow to the next step of pushing our hardware through. But in this case, we are going to have to drill a hole. So I'm actually going to get our base plate lightly mocked up. Then we can use our side bracket as a template to drill out our hole. Now with an extra set of hands, we can lift our base plate up and into place. It is going to fit kind of snug, so you might kind of have to like push it on each end to get it to slide into place around our frame rail. So we're going to have a tab on the bottom here that is going to line up with a hole in our bumper beam. We can want to grab our spacer, or our threaded spacer I should say. We'll drop that on the inside and get it lined up down here on the bottom. We just want to get our hardware started on each side like so. Now we want to come back and just snug these down to where everything lines up between our base plate and our frame. We're going to use a 19mm socket. Just like that. We'll repeat that same process on the other side. So from here on out, we want to add red Loctite to all of our hardware. And we actually want to go back and add red Loctite to the 2 bolts on the bottom. But we just want to get everything else snugged down first. That way it can support itself. Now red Loctite is not going to be included with this kit, but you can find some here at etrailer.com. So now we want to grab our bracket. We're just going to slide this into place like so. getting everything lined up. Then we can grab our handle nuts. We're just going to slide that behind and get it lined up. Then we want to grab that bolt that we just added red Loctite to, slide that through and get it started on our handle nut. So we're going to have one more hole on the top here, and then we'll repeat this same process on the other side. Now we just want to come back with a 19mm socket, tighten these down. Repeat that same process on the other side. Now we want to grab a 1/2" drill bit and slide it through the hole in our bracket, and then we're just going to spin it a few times and mark our hole on our frame rail. Now we have a good spot marked on our frame rail. We can come back with a smaller drill bit, drill that out, and kind of work our way up back to the 1/2" bit. Now we're going to grab our long bolt provided. We're going to add a flat washer. Then we're going to slide this through the hole on the inside of the frame to the outside. Now we want to take our spacer provided and just slide it over our bolt. What I actually did was I came back down to our bracket and removed one of our bolts here just to give us a little bit more play. And we just want to take this bracket, kind of slide it back through and put our bolt through the bracket. We now want to add our flat washer, our split lock washer, and our hex nut. We are now ready to come back and torque down all of our hardware. Our torque specs are going to be listed in our instructions. We now have everything torqued down, so it's now time to come back and break off our handle nuts. You can just kind of grab them like this and then wiggle them back and forth until they break off like so. So you want to make sure to get all of them off. If you're having trouble, you can always come in with a pair of 10 snips and just cut them off. So as far as getting our base plate installed, we are totally done there. We do have to trim our underbody panel and reinstall that. However, if you are installing other flat towing components like we are, we're going to leave that off. It's just going to make it a lot easier to run all of our wiring. And then once we have everything installed, we can come back, cut it, and reinstall it in the reverse order that we took it apart. With everything hooked up to our RV, we are now ready to hit the road. That's going to do it for our look at and the installation of the Roadmaster Direct Connect baseplate kit on our 2013 Jeep Wrangler.